So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Damaris Burgess, and welcome to joining us today to Steps to Starting Your Own Business. The Bronx and Women's Business Center is located in 1231 Lafayette Avenue, the Hunts Point section of the Bronx. The purpose of today's webinar is to provide each participant on this webinar information on business development programs and services offered by the Business Outreach Center Women's Business Center, as well as the BOC network. We also have today some of our partners. The Women's Business Center is funded by the United States Small Business Administration, who have also joined us on the call. And we thank you so much for your time. We have so much information to share with you. And again, thank you so much for being here with us today. So again, my name is Damaris Burgess. I'm the director of the Bronx Women's Business Center, located in the Banknote Building in the Hunts Point section of the Bronx. The Women's Business Center, you can identify some forthcoming webinars that we have scheduled via our website, which is www.bocwbc.org. You could also reach us through email at bronxwbc@bocnet.org to schedule a one-on-one counseling appointment. At the Women's Business Center, we offer small business technical assistance, and we work with established businesses as well as startups. So if you're on this call today looking to start your business, please do email us at bronxwbc@bocnet.org for a one-on-one appointment. Sylvia, can you hear us, Sylvia?
Yes, I can.
Today, we will also be working with Ms. Sylvia Rivera. Ms. Sylvia Rivera joins us from the United States Small Business Administration. We're excited to have a few workshops that are forthcoming with Ms. Sylvia Rivera. So Sylvia, thank you so much for being with us today. And if you have any questions, you could also reach out to Sylvia via email, via phone, as well as on the sba.gov website. Sylvia, did you want to add any introduction?
No, that's perfect. We're right here ready to start.
Excellent, excellent. Just move on to the next slide. So if you see here, Steps to Starting Your Business webinar began promptly at 4 o'clock. In a few moments, we'll be sharing a little bit more about our vision and our mission at the Women's Business Center. We have a number of our partners today on the call that are going to introduce themselves. We have great programming and great services available to you for free. At 4:30, we're going to start the Ready part of the Ready, Set, Go series. These are steps to starting your business. We will also ensure to email each registrant the PowerPoint presentation, as well as additional flyers and additional information that we share on this webinar. At 5:30, we'll ask each registrant to complete a survey. In order for us to meet the needs of the clients we serve, such as yourself, we have to hear from you, and we request your feedback via this survey on what's important to you and what programs you would like to see available to you. We will also ask that you support us by putting any questions that you have on the chat, and we'll be able to answer any questions in detail at the end of the webinar. We also ask that you take a moment now. We ask that you take a moment now and find a notebook or a pen and pad so that you can begin to write some of the points that we talk about, and take a moment to take your idea and make it a reality by writing it down. Just some housekeeping rules. Everybody will be on mute. Again, we're going to ask everyone to post their questions in the chat. And again, after the presentation, we will additionally email everyone the survey, as well as share it in the chat, as well as email everyone the presentation from today's webinar. So our mission at the Business Outreach Center is to improve the economic prospects of traditionally underserved groups with a focus on low and moderate income entrepreneurs in their communities, and thereby create genuinely brighter futures. As mentioned, we are also powered by the Small Business Administration. The Office of Women Business Ownership mission is to enable and empower women entrepreneurs through advocacy, outreach, education, and support. If you see here, we have offices located in all 5 boroughs, with our Bronx office located at the Banknote Building in the Hunts Point section of the Bronx at 1231 Lafayette Avenue. We also have a satellite office in Upper Manhattan, as well as Staten Island, and another Women's Business Center location located in downtown Brooklyn. The BOC network is very extensive, so please refer to www.bocnet.org. If you have any additional information or want anything else, you can check us out on the web as well. Now, these are some of our programs. These are some of our programs that we offer. Victoria, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you be so kind as to put the BOC website in the chat?
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. So here at the Women's Business Center located in the Bronx and Upper Manhattan, we offer one-on-one business counseling, workshops and trainings, child care business development. If you're interested in starting a home-based child care business, please email us directly. We will also share with you a little bit more today about the worker-owned cooperative business development program. If you go to our website, you can find forthcoming workshops that we have regarding technical assistance, workshops related specifically to COVID. We have a number of mentoring programs, opportunities to access capital. We also offer programming with certification through New York City, as well as New York State, minority certification. Later today, you'll hear a little bit more about our BXL Business Incubator. We have a business incubator space located in the Banknote Building. And once you become a client, you become a client forever. Our services are free. Today's workshop is centered on steps to starting your business. Once you send us a communication and you'd like to meet with us one-on-one for business counseling, we'd customize your business development based on the individual's needs. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Rolando Gonzalez with the Legal Aid Society. Mr. Rolando Gonzalez, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Hi, Mr. Gonzalez.
Hello, and thank you. As Damaris mentioned, my name is Rolando Gonzalez, and I'm an attorney with the Legal Aid Society. We work very closely with the Women's Business Center, and what we do is we provide free transactional legal services to small businesses and nonprofits, and that includes everything helping with choosing the right business structure, helping with the creating the corporate structure, the corporate documents, corporate governance, commercial leasing, contracts, employment issues, pretty much anything that a small business owner would need, we can assist with. We provide, there's several levels of assistance, but if you need legal assistance, you can reach out to Damaris or the Women's Business Center, and they can connect you to me and schedule a one-on-one consultation. Now, one of the most important decisions that you will make is choosing a legal structure. It's going to determine who owns the business and who is legally responsible for the debts of the business. Your decisions when you start your business can have serious consequences later on. I am talking to business owners on a daily basis now who are having issues because they're personally liable for the debts of the business while they were closed during the pandemic. And a lot of these problems that they're having now could have been avoided. Your business structure affects how much you're going to pay in taxes and what you have to file, your ability to raise money, the paperwork you need to file to create the entity and where, and most importantly, your personal liability. What debts and obligations of the business you're personally responsible for, and what debts and obligations you can walk away from. When you're looking at starting a business, you're going to be you'll have a choice between operating as a sole proprietorship or a partnership. Sole proprietorship is basically if you start a business without filing for a corporation or limited liability company, or filing with the Department of State. If you're the sole owner, you're a sole proprietor. If you are starting a business with other partners and you don't form an entity through the New York Department of State, you're in a partnership. An LLC or a corporation, whether it's C or an S, requires the formation of the going through the Department of State. So we're probably going to schedule a training that'll go more in depth about how to structure your business, and what may work for one person may not work for another person. So it's important to go through what the steps are regarding how you choose which structure to start your business with, because choosing your structure can impact your personal liability if you need to if there are business debts down the line.
Awesome.
Damaris?
Hi, Rolando. We lost you for a moment.
So basically, we'll be scheduling something in the next month or two to go into a little bit more detail about the different legal structures, but it's going to come down to, a lot of it comes down to what's your risk and whether you need to protect your personal assets or not. I know Jeff will also talk about worker-owned cooperatives, which is another way of structuring your business.
Thank you so much, Rolando. And as Rolando shared, everyone, we work in partnership with the Legal Aid Society. The Legal Aid Society supports the Women's Business Center clients as well as their own clients to ensure that you understand your business structure, you understand the differences. And further to add to Rolando's point, we will send you after this presentation our upcoming webinars, specifically a webinar catered towards legal structures, choosing your legal structure and managing your legal structure. So again, Rolando, on behalf of the clients you serve, thank you for all the work that you do. And thank you again.
Thank you for inviting me to participate.
Absolutely. Thank you. So now we're going to move on to worker-owned cooperatives. Is Mr. Jeff DC on the line? Let's see if Mr. Jeff DC is on the line. Victoria, do you see Mr. Jeff DC on the line?
I unmuted you, Mr. DC.
All right, I'm here.
Hi, Jeff.
Hello, Damaris.
Thank you for joining us today.
No problem. I'm Jeff DC. I'm a senior business counselor. I normally work out of the Bronx, our Bronx office, but since March, I've been working from here. Worker-owned cooperatives. A lot of people ask me, what's a worker-owned cooperative? It operates just like any other business, but it's how the business is governed is where the difference is. It's a democratic, worker-controlled company. So a corporation is generally owned by shareholders. An LLC is owned by members. A worker-owned cooperative is owned by the people who work at the business. And it's democratic because every worker owner has one vote when decisions are made. That doesn't mean that every decision gets made by everybody, because that would be a little unwieldy. Typically, there'll be like an annual meeting A governing committee will be elected. And they will take care of the day-to-day operations. But if the workers as a whole are unhappy with that committee, they could vote them out. So you could fire your boss. The other key thing that makes it democratic is that any distribution of profits is equal. So everybody would get the same amount, same share of the profits, no matter what their job title. Like I said, it operates very much like a traditional business, except for the governance and the splitting up of profits. That doesn't mean that everybody gets the same salary. So you may have a president who makes more than, say, line workers if it's a factory. But generally, because of the principles that govern worker-owned cooperatives.
Car back there.
Hello?
Walk away, Amaryllis.
If we can ask the person to please mute themselves, please mute yourselves if you are not a speaker. I think-
Okay. Somebody want to say something?
No, Jeff, that's me. You're all set.
Okay. Where was I? Okay, because of the principles that govern worker-owned cooperatives, there's usually a cap on how much more, say, the president of the business can make than somebody who works as a line person in a factory. So it might be 6 or 7 times what a line worker makes is the maximum salary for the president. And that in American corporations, chief executive officers often make 350 times what the average worker makes. So there's quite a difference there. And then you also have the distribution of profits. Everybody gets the same amount of money because they are all equal owners. So those are the key characteristics of a worker-owned cooperative. To start a worker-owned cooperative, you only need 2 people. And right now, there's a lot of impetus behind establishing worker-owned cooperatives and converting traditional businesses to worker-owned cooperatives. And therefore, there's a lot of free assistance available. I'll give you a couple of examples. There's an organization called Green Worker Cooperatives, and they operate the Green Worker Academy. And that is like an 18-part training program for people who want to start cooperatives. A lot of that is business oriented, but it's also teaching some of the principles and values that go with worker-owned cooperatives. There's an organization called the Working World, which only loans money to worker-owned cooperatives. And they have a very interesting model for their financing. You don't have to begin repaying the loan until you're profitable. And once you are profitable, if the loan payments are going to hurt the business by taking out too much cash at once, they'll adjust the loan payment. As they say, there are no extractive loan payments. Their goal is to make worker-owned cooperatives successful, not get the maximum amount of money out of the business as a traditional bank would. That would be their goal, to maximize their return on their loans. So, and I just mentioned conversions. And we think that's important because 60% of small businesses, when the owner retires, that business closes. So all the workers lose their jobs, the community loses a business, and the owner misses out on a final payday. So right now we are actively looking for businesses where the owner would like to sell the business to the employees, and we would help analyze the business, value the business, and then finance the transaction. There's also legal services available. So all the worker-owned cooperatives that I work with are either LLCs or corporations. But what makes them different is their operating agreement. And the operating agreement lays out the fact that everybody, you know, who the owners are, and how profits will be distributed. And I've already said how that works. So if you are interested in setting up a meeting because you want to establish a worker-owned cooperative, or if you know somebody who has a business that would like to sell it to the employees, you can just send an email to the address that Damaris posted earlier, and I'll get in touch with you. And I think that's about it. Thank you, Damaris.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff. Again, on behalf of all the clients that we serve at the Women's Business Center and Business Outreach Center, thank you so much for all the work that you do, specifically with worker-owned cooperatives.
All right, you're welcome.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I don't know if we have Mr. Ryan Widenhouse or Ms. Yedmi Baptiste on the line.
Hi, Damaris.
Hey, Ryan, thank you for joining us today.
No problem. Thanks for having me. This
So
my slide?
Yes, Ryan, if you would be so kind and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Widenhouse. I'm the Business Development Officer for BOC Capital. BOC Capital is an affiliate of BOC Network, the organization that Damaris works for. We have a very collaboratory relationship. We work together, and I provide financing for lots of clients that Damaris works with, and Jeff Deasy. I'm going to give you a very quick rundown about some of our lending products. BOC Capital, we're an SBA microfinance lender. We do small business term loans ranging from $1,000 to $250,000. The lower end of those loans are what we call credit builder loans. So if any of you are starting a business and you have concerns or questions about your credit, or you're new to financing, we can do a very small loan. It's kind of an introductory product, so you understand business financing, and it helps you build your personal financial credit as well. Outside of that, we have contract financing. So if any of you are doing work with the city, city agencies, we have a product that we developed in partnership with New York City called the CFLF Loan Fund. Those are loans up to $500,000 at a 3% interest rate. So if you're doing a project for NYCHA or the School Construction Authority or any of those other city agencies, we'd be happy to discuss financing options for you on those projects. If you do any other types of contracts or purchase orders outside of city agencies, we also can finance those. So for businesses working on projects with state, federal, or private entities, we can go up to $250,000. And most recently, we have introduced our Entrepreneurs of Color COVID-19 Relief Fund. So these are low interest rate loans up to $50,000, available for Black, Latinx, and Native American business owners and Asian businesses with less than $1 million in annual sales. The last product we offer is the livery and taxi loans. So if you're an Uber driver or a taxi and you're looking to purchase your own car, we have low interest car loans to help you build your personal net equity. For all these products, you know, every business is different and every individual is different. I encourage you to reach out to the email address provided earlier by Damaris, and she can connect you with either myself or another one of our lending representatives. And we would love to have a one-on-one conversation, consultation with you to see if any of these products fit your needs, or if you're just wanting to have a conversation around financing to learn a little bit more about, you know, what you need to put together in order to seek financing in the future. We'd be happy to have that conversation with you.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us today. And Yedmi, I know I didn't ask you to prepare anything, but if you want to share something, you're more than welcome to at any point. So again, Ryan, thank you so much. And Yedmi, if you could just say hi. Yedmi's another loan counselor.
Hi, Ryan covered everything very well. Thank you, Ryan.
And Yedmi and I also speak Spanish. So if you have any friends or family that are interested in starting a business, we also have a counselor that speaks French. You know, and we have many resources available to offer support in multiple languages. Thank you, Ryan, again, and thank you, Yedmi.
Thank you, Damaris.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So this is just a little bit about some of the credit programs that we have to support clients in restoring and reestablishing their credit. We NYC is one of the credit programs that we have. Once you email us at bronxwbc@bocnet.org, we can sit with you, even pull your credit, review your credit with you, and have a certified financial counselor for free work with you to ensure that, you know, if you are interested in starting a business, but your credit is not there yet, we will work with you to ensure that we get you to the point. And it's all planning and preparation. Everybody has a different starting point. And so we meet each individual where they are and customize training, business development training based on the individual's needs. So again, we have certified financial counselors that provide one-on-one counseling sessions. And if you're interested in that, please do email us to schedule a one-on-one appointment. John Frias, are you on the line with us?
Yes, I am.
Hey, John, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, Damaris. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much on behalf of the Women's Business Center for joining us today. Would you be so kind as to share a little bit more about the Ascend program?
Sure.
Awesome.
So, as my colleague Damaris mentioned, my name is John Frias, and I'm the program manager for Ascend New York City. Ascend is a national initiative that combines the resources of local business support organizations like BOC Network and BCDI and Bronx Community College to accelerate the growth of minority-owned businesses in our community. We try to provide our cohort members with market access through our relationships with an anchor council that we formed, right? The point of the anchor council is that these institutions have procurement dollars that they're spending elsewhere, and our goal is to get them to spend them here. Our council consists of government, healthcare institutions, education institutions, and leaders in the construction industry and major corporations and distribution centers. Like I said before, the goal is to get business owners to build relationships with these people, receive insight into the expectations required for contracting, and then hopefully get contracts, those contract dollars spent within the community in the Bronx. Additionally, through our partnership with BOC Capital, we help our Ascend businesses who get contracts to get access to capital to finance those contracts with extremely favorable terms. Finally, we also provide our cohort members with management training and one-on-one coaching to help them build on their business capacity to not only ensure that the business can deliver on the contracts, but that they also drive each business's long-term success. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Ascend New York City and what we have to offer you and your business, please go to ascendnewyorkcity.org and click on the apply button to fill out our inquiry form. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. John, thank you so much for sharing about the Ascend program. John, did you want to share a little bit about the BXL incubator?
Sure. Okay. So we also run a business incubator out in Hunts Point. The address is the same as the address for the Women in Business Center. In fact, our Women in Business Center is inside the incubator. And the BXL members have access to a modern office. And this is actually a picture of one of our conference rooms encased in glass. We have very friendly staff that that provide you with everything that you need. And actually, I think, Jeff or Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, we actually have a grant that is supporting businesses to have space in the incubator. So if you're interested in that, please contact Anne-Marie at the email that's listed right there. I don't have all the details regarding that, but I do know that there is funding to support that for a certain period of time. So if you're a business looking for space, contact us and we'll be able to help you.
Yeah, that's correct, John. And thank you again, John. The BXL incubator is a very industrial, it's located in an industrial building, the Banknote building in the Hunts Point section of the Bronx. As John said, Anne Marie is our community manager. Just shoot her an email, or again, email us directly at the Women's Business Center, and we'll put you in contact for sure. So these are just an overview of our forthcoming workshops. We have additional workshops that are not listed here. And once we send the follow-up email to you all with this presentation, we will include all our upcoming workshops. So if you see here, SBA programs and services to help your business, Wednesday, November 18th, 4 o'clock. You could register at the BOC WBC website as well. And you could register directly on here on this presentation as well. Then on Thursday, December 3rd, how to complete a business plan. We will be helping you and teaching you how to complete a business plan on this webinar. And then financing your business. There's a lot of different ways to come up with a piggy bank, for lack of a better expression, to start your business for startup capital. And we will help you explore those ways to have capital and a piggy bank to start your business at the Financing Your Business webinar scheduled for Tuesday, December 15th. So now, without further ado, we have Ms. Sylvia Rivera. Ms. Sylvia Rivera, again, is with the United States Small Business Administration. Her office is located in Lower Manhattan, and she's the New York District Office for the Women's Business Center. Ms. Sylvia Rivera, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Thank you very much.
Take it away,
Dr.
please.
Maris. Thank you. Thank you. Well, as you can see, SBA's mission is to help people start, grow, and create businesses so that they can build the economy. I can read it word for word if you like, but that's kind of redundant. And we help them grow through partnerships with public and private organizations across the nation. We have 68 district offices. We were created in 1953 to help people start and grow and become successful. And our mission is just clear: to help you start, grow, expand, and recover. We make connections, we open doors, we focus on small businesses, we spark change. We are the catalyst for growth, powering the American dream. We are SBA, the United States Small Business Administration, and we are here as an independent agency to help you become extremely successful and at no additional cost. We're helping you with our resource partners. So, what is a small business? As you all know, America is the nation of small businesses. Nationally, there are approximately right now 31 million small businesses. Over 3/4 of small businesses have no employees. That means sole proprietors do it all by themselves. Small businesses make up 99% of US employer firms. We create 65% of the net new private sector jobs, and we employ at least 47% of private sector workforce, which includes 98% of the firms exporting goods. We prefer you export instead of bringing them in. Don't want to import, send them out. 31 small businesses. And I'm going to leave this to Lady Damaris to continue, because this is her show.
So hi, everyone. So thank you again, Sylvia. We wanted to really point out 10 common pitfalls to avoid when starting a small business. One is lack of planning. It's really, really important to set aside some time to really plan and set realistic, smart goals. In our one-on-one sessions, we'll support you in order to properly plan based on where you are. Poor credit, not having good credit can be worked on. It's a starting point to move forward. And so we can support you by doing a credit pull and having you meet for free with counselors. If it needs to be on a weekly basis, we have different organizations that, again, are all free to provide you with and to support you with, so that you can really, in the next 6 months, say to yourself, my credit has improved and I'm on my way to starting a business. Failure to seek expert help. We at the Women's Business Center provide business technical assistance in marketing, finance, legal support. We have a network of experts that are experts in the different industries, whether it's daycare or whether it's the restaurant industry, any specific industry, we will connect you with someone that can support you. And again, our services are free. Lack of support, our workshops are designed to really support each individual. We also have small group mentoring sessions. So again, based on each individual's need, we will support you to achieve the result. Lack of industry experience, if you don't necessarily have experience in a certain area, we don't necessarily recommend that you start a business in it. It's important to have experience in the field that you're going to be starting a business in. And Sylvia Rivera, John Frias, and Victoria Pamias, feel free to chime in on any of these points, as well as Jeff at any point if needed as well. Insufficient capital. There's many forms to really, I call it a piggy bank, create a piggy bank to start your business. There's many different ways that don't have to be loans. It can be grants. It can be, through Kiva or crowdfunding. These are different platforms that you can do to raise money from friends and family. Number 8 is poor customer service. They say that your brand walks in the room before you do. They say that your brand walks in the room before you do. So it's really important that you realize it, if you haven't already, that you're the CEO of your own enterprise. Damaris Burgess is known to be the director of the Women's Business Center. Ms. Sylvia Rivera is known to be working with the United States Small Business Administration. And, superior customer service is important in any facet of being employed or having your own business. Sylvia, did you want to add anything else so far?
No, you're doing a phenomenal job.
Awesome. That's what we like to hear, right, Sylvia? Okay.
Always.
So poor cash management, from budgeting to really being able to have financial projections, to know how many sales you want to close every month. If you want to close $1 million in sales, if you want to close $250,000 in sales, if you want to close $50 in sales every day, these are small goals that we get to support you with so that you can know how to have cash, how to budget it, and how to forecast it, and how to grow and sustain your business all at the same time. Marketing and technology challenges. We deal with a high number of clients who are not as tech savvy as they should be for a world that does e-commerce, a world that does websites, a world that does email marketing. And so we really do an assessment when we meet with each person one-on-one, and we support you with understanding anything when it comes to marketing or technology. And if we don't have the services, we will provide you with someone in our network that does. So we will connect with you and work with you directly on that. 10 talents that drive entrepreneurial success. 10 talents that drive entrepreneurial success. Disciplined and hardworking, successful risk manager, leverages resources and technology. Victoria, can you hear me?
Yes.
What does it mean to you when I say leverages resources and technology?
Everything is available to us if we can see it and access it. So let's say as a business owner, I know what I know, but then if I don't know it, I go and I learn it. The other point is the resources is working with BOC, WBC, SBA, and all the organizations as a community in order to build your business.
Awesome. And Victoria also consults and works with the Women's Business Center. She recently is a proud graduate of our digital presence cohort. We taught entrepreneurs on how to have a website, how to build a website, how to create an e-commerce store on your website so that you can sell products and mail them to people virtually. And that could be a service business or a product oriented business. And so we're excited that Victoria came to us and was able to develop her technological expertise by way of our support. Thank you so much, Victoria, for giving us that perspective. Another talent is thinking globally. We have the World Wide Web. We no longer have to just be subject to the blocks that we live on. So it's important that entrepreneurs know to think globally. Strong organization skills, execution and delegation skills, resilient and adaptable. It's important that we adapt, especially during these unprecedented times. We support businesses by showing them how they can sustain themselves, they can pivot, and they can thrive and innovate and remain resilient. If businesses, don't innovate, then they no longer exist, which is why it's important to survive and continue your business and seek support from experts. Passionate leadership that motivates others. Miss Sylvia Rivera, many individuals in our team that we work with, they motivate us. We're a business, we're an organization that really seeks to serve entrepreneurs. And so without passion, you don't really have an organization. Number 8, understands market, customer, and employee needs. It's important that you as a business owner are solving an industry problem. You're solving a need, right? So it's important that you understand your market. Your market means people that you're going to be selling your product or your service to. You have to understand your customer profile, and you have to really know your employee needs, because if your employees are not happy, then they're not representing your business in the best possible light. Ability to support network of partners and mentors. It's important that when you're in an industry, you know who your competitors are, and your competitors must remain your allies as well. So number 9 is the ability to build support network of partners and mentors. Number 10 is evaluation and reassessment of skills. So for example, we have a survey that we're going to share with you all after this webinar. So it's important for us to evaluate how we deliver our service. And so as a business owner, it's important for you to consistently be evaluating and assessing your skills in terms of delivering your business, in terms of delivering your product. Victoria, did you want to read this slide?
Are you ready to be an entrepreneur? These are the questions you should ask. What do I want from this business? What steps have I taken to be an entrepreneur? What am I willing to invest? Am I willing to risk my money and time? Is this a hobby? Do I have an exit strategy? Write your entrepreneur readiness checklist. I know what I want from my bit. This would be an exercise for you to take once you get the website, once you get the slides home. I know what I want from my business, and I know my business idea. This is what I want. In becoming an entrepreneur, I have taken the following steps. For my business idea, I am willing to invest. For my business idea, I am willing to risk. My business idea is not a hobby because, and then finally, my exit strategy for my business and business idea is. When you answer these questions for yourself, you will be well on your way to work with others.
Yes, thank you so much, Victoria. And these questions are designed to stimulate your mind. Again, if you have a notebook in front of you, if you have a computer in front of you, if you can just quickly write down your responses to these questions, that would support you so that when we do schedule a one-on-one with you, you'll have something to talk to us about. 10 steps to starting a small business. Sylvia, are you there, Sylvia? Did you want to start with this slide?
Sure, honey. 10 steps to starting a small business. Define your product or service. Secondly, you have to find competitive advantages and disadvantages. You need to create your marketing strategy, calculate your startup costs. You have to choose your business legal structure, and people at the WBC will help you with that. We also have the Legal Aid Society, which was on the phone just a minute ago. They'll be able to help you as well. Property setup business entities. Prepare yourself financially from the get-go. You have to make sure you know what to do. Develop your strategic plan. Sustain your business and seek professional financial assistance. First and foremost, if you have an idea, reach out to one of our resource partners. They're the best equipped to help you get started. They're there to help you from the idea phase through the life of your business. It does not stop just because you started your business. That means if you want to grow, you want to expand, you need more monies, you speak to your resource partners, to your advisors, and they will guide you through every step of the way. Define your product or service. The best business ideas come from identifying a need or solving a problem for customers. You need to ask yourself, what do I want to sell? What will the product service do? What problem does my product or service solve? Do people really need it? How is it different from what currently exists? Who will buy it? How will I know which customers I need to sell it to? How much are they willing to pay for it? I mean, you can go across the street and get it for 50 cents less. Why is yours better? Little things we need to ask ourselves. Your product or service. Try filling in the following to define your business offering and market demand. My business offering is, what do I want to sell? I want to sell bubble gum. Everybody likes to chew. What will the product and a service do? Keep you from saying things that you don't really want to sell because you're chewing. I don't know. This is just a little funny for me, but what problem does my product and or service solve? It could be a product and a service. How is it different from what currently exists? You might have something that's just maybe is insignificant to some people, but it's significantly different to others. What circumstances do I need to consider if I'm located in a rural versus urban market area? My market demand is, who will buy it? How do I know? How do I find out? How much will they pay for it? The different little things that you need to ask yourself before you start your business. These are little steps that you need to know before you get out there.
Yes, Sylvia. And the great thing is, Sylvia, is that there's many ways to even start a business from your cell phone. Many people think that it's, you need a computer, you need to be so organized. You just have to start. And you have to start, and it's left foot, right foot, step, and repeat.
Yeah, just take some time to answer these questions as best you can. If you cannot answer one of these questions, that's okay. Most entrepreneurs cannot define their offering and market demand at first. And no, the remote location of rural areas may mean that it is more expensive to bring in supplies and ship products, and may make it difficult to hire and retain qualified employees. However, some business costs may be lower. The cost of real estate, rent, property taxes. What will you do to overcome these barriers? Partner with a complementary business to provide services, consolidate shipping, offer group benefits, develop a cooperative relationship with existing small businesses, co-locate, offer pricing specials, buy X from your business and receive discount from others in the group. Co-advertising, you place an ad at their store or in their ad. Consider whether different zoning rules in rural areas offer opportunities that you could not expect in urban areas. Little things that mean so much.
Thank you, Sylvia. So the
You're
next
very
slide is understand your competitive advantage. When you have a better understanding of your business offering, again, when you have a better understanding of your business offering supply and market demand, you are better able to identify gaps and unfulfilled needs. You are better able to identify gaps and unfulfilled needs. So when there's an unfulfilled need, you have a competitive advantage. To understand your business competitive advantage, ask yourself, Who is already providing your product or service? Who is already providing your product or service? How much do they charge? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? Who are their customers? What types of customers are they targeting? Direct competitor is a company selling a similar service or product to a similar target consumer. Indirect competitor is a company selling a different service or product to the similar target. Number 3, define your competitive advantage. In order to get a sense of your direct and indirect competitors, let's take a look at the following questions. This exercise will help identify if there is an unfulfilled market opportunity for your product or service. If you could just all in the chat just say what product you may be interested in selling or what service you may be interested in selling. Victoria, and once individuals share, can you just share them aloud as they come through? So this exercise will help identify if there's an unfilled market opportunity for your product or service and whether it's being filled by another current company. Who's already providing your product or service? How much do they charge? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? Who are their customers? What types of customers are they targeting? What will your business provide that your competitors don't? What is your advantage? You have to be able to clearly state in a sales script what is your advantage. Who are your direct and indirect competitors? If the owner of a company does not know who their direct and indirect competitors are, you should not be in business. So it's very important to really define your competitive advantage. Number 10, where are your direct and indirect competitors selling? And Sylvia, John Frias, and Victoria, feel free to interject as needed.
Well, when you have a solid understanding of what similar businesses currently exist, you are better able to identify gaps in services and in products. So you'll be able to start your business and not worry so much about them, but you'll know the differences and you'll know who your competitors are, which is really important.
I just want to mention that Marika offers cookies online, Tanisha, interior decorating and design consultation, and also Tanisha offers rhinestone and vinyl clothing and accessories. We do encourage all of you to put in your business idea.
Awesome.
It's also important to understand who your competitors are within your region because it helps you understand what your market share is. So let's say you're in a specific zip code and you know that there are 3 cookie companies that do the exact same thing you do, Marika. In your zip code, you take the population, the potential market, and you divide it by all 3. And then you can say, okay, well, this is my market and this is my potential market because you're not going to get 100% of them because you have competition. So it's important to understand who's doing what you do. And then, like Sylvia said, being able to differentiate yourself from them.
Yeah, thank you, John.
I just want to add that Lynn Anderson offers a bed and breakfast and rental space.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so we look forward to following up with each of you individually after this webinar and scheduling a one-on-one appointment. I know oftentimes we may have, let's say, 10 to 20 clients that are in the same industry. And so, we can also cross-connect you with your competitors, if you will, to further support you in knowing who's doing what specifically in the Bronx and Manhattan. Thank you. Decide your marketing strategy. Your business must generate enough revenue, income to exceed the expenses to net a profit. Your business must generate enough revenue, income to exceed the expenses to net a profit. So expenses, any business that you start will have expenses, right? And so it's important to remove those expenses and know what your net profit is. Be sure your market strategy answers the below questions. What is your target market? What are unfulfilled needs of your target market? How will customers find out about your business? How will you reach potential customers? Will you do it online? Will you do it by bringing flyers to their door? Will you send them an email marketing campaign? Will you do it through social media? Will you host a friends and family discount? How will you reach potential customers? How are you generating leads? What sets your business apart from the competitors? Once you have defined these questions, create a marketing plan that includes expected costs and how you intend to roll out the plan. We will support you at the Women's Business Center with further creating a marketing plan. Calculate your startup costs. Before you launch a new venture, you should take time to estimate the total amount of funds that will be needed. Startup costs are divided into two main categories. One-time startup cost, right? So Victoria, I know very recently you created your DBA, you're doing business as.
Yes, I'm a sole proprietor doing business as Purpose Empowered.
Great. Can you tell us how much was the expense to become a sole proprietor? A sole proprietor is a legal entity.
The sole proprietor was basically $110. You just get the document, which is 3, go to the main courthouse, and within minutes you have your DBA.
Thank you, Victoria. So Victoria, if you could be requesting, if the entrepreneurs on the call can share in the chat, if you currently have a legal structure or if you don't, just so we can get a sense. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, no problem. If you would like to formalize your business with a legal structure, we can support you with that. But I wanted to make mention that there are costs associated with formalizing your business. So separate from the one-time startup costs are reoccurring monthly costs. Startup costs are expenses incurred during the process of creating a new business. You should consider how much cash on hand you will need to carry you to earnings revenue. So again, it's important to be liquid. It's important to have cash in hand until you start closing sales.
Maris,
Yeah.
I'd just like to add also that the cost of you establishing yourself as a legal entity is only one part of the startup costs. So for example, if I want to start a cab driving service and I want to buy a car, the cost of the car is also a startup cost. It might be the initial deposit to go lease a car so that I can do my cab service, but that's also part of the startup costs.
Damaris,
Yeah.
Somebody's asking for LLC registration. For the LLC registration, you need to make online application is around $2,210. And for the publication in the newspapers could be $800. Total is $2,000. You need to make publications in 2 newspapers and fill it out an application online for $210 to make a
Damaris, there's also a question. Can you do a DBA with a not-for-profit? That's a question.
Yep. So the DBA is for a for-profit. For nonprofit, I'm not very sure. That would be a legal counsel question.
Okay.
But if Victoria, if you could just keep these questions and jot them down, we can get the answers from Rolando, our pro bono attorney, and respond by way of our follow-up email.
Thank you very much.
Also, I believe Victoria put Rolando's email in the chat. So if you guys want to follow up any questions, you could just take the email from the chat.
Yeah, thank you, John. Thank you, Victoria. Rolando is very receptive. He responds, immediately, and he's just an amazing individual to have in your contact list for sure.
Damaris, I just wanted to mention that Marika and Tanisha both have an LLC.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And as we continue to work with different clients, oftentimes we look for panelists and speakers for our events. So if that's something that you're interested in, please do email bronxwbc@bocnet.org and just indicate that. Or when we follow up for a one-on-one counseling appointment scheduling, please let us know in that moment that you may be interested in sharing a little bit more as a panelist volunteering at the Women's Business Center. Thank you, Victoria.
I have one more. Oh, I'll save the questions again.
No, it's okay. Go right ahead.
So, are there any resources for funding available to a new business with no profit history as of yet?
You know, it's John. Do you want to speak to this one, John?
So my understanding is, again, this would be Ryan Widenhouse's wheelhouse, but my understanding is that we do have funding sources or loans for startups. And it would depend on how viable their product is, and it would also depend on the credit history of the person requesting it, and whether or not they have any collateral to back the loan. I'm going to push this over to Sylvia and ask her what the SBA has available.
Well, before Sylvia answers that, and thank you, John, for answering that. I know the New York Public Libraries, if you go into the New York Public Library, they have business plan competitions. They have business plan competitions where you attend classes either online, in the past, in person, and you could win up to $10,000 to start your business. Oftentimes when we hear of grants or when we hear of startup competitions, we'll put them in our newsletter. So if you're interested in being added to our newsletter, please do schedule a one-on-one appointment with us so that we can sit with you one-on-one and then also add you to the newsletter at that time. There are opportunities, but they're not many. Sylvia Rivera, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Can you further add to that question?
Well, I know the question was about startup funding.
Yep.
And with startups, most of the time you go to a bank and they do not want to lend money to startups. The SBA does guarantee loans to the bank, not to you, to the bank, to minimize the risk to the bank so that they'll be more open to lending a startup. But, or I should say, however, you really need to have a good business plan, and the WBC will help you with that. Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so calculate your startup cost. How much money will it take to start your small business? Calculate the startup cost for your smart business so that you can request funding, attract investors, and estimate when you turn a profit. Initial costs may include business bank account, rent lease deposit, improvements for remodeling, web design, brand design, legal and professional fees, starting inventory, furniture and equipment, licenses and permits. It's important for your startup costs to know all your licenses and permits. At the Women's Business Center, we'll direct you based on your industry on how to identify what licenses and permits you need. And initial cost is software. Something as simple as Microsoft Office may cost anywhere from $100 to $300 a year. So there's just many different ways that it all adds up, and it needs to be really categorized from the beginning. Some reoccurring costs that may include telephone, rent, advertising, marketing, social media, salaries of your employees, supplies that you may need, bookkeeping, such as an accountant. You need insurance so that, if something happens, you're insured and it doesn't come out of your personal liability, your personal pocket. Software, subscription, and services. These are all things to think about when your startup costs. It's a good idea to create a formal report of your expected startup cost. We at the Women's Business Center will help you do this. This document is also available and you can access live on the SBA website. In the same way, you can download this to your computer and you can just do draft 1, draft 2, draft 3. And the further you get in your business planning, the many drafts you'll have from your first startup cost sheet to your last startup cost sheet. So again, it's a good idea to create a formal report of your expected startup costs. You want it in a format that's clear and easy to understand. investors, like your friends and family that want to support you with a good idea that you might have, if they're going to give you $1,000, you want to seem, authentic. You want to seem, organized, that you're serious about this. And your startup cost calculator worksheet is a great way for investors and lenders to compare expected costs to projected revenue and determine the profit for your business. So this is a very important tool to do. Choosing your legal business structure. We talked a little bit about this when Rolando was on the call. The business structure you choose influences everything from your day-to-day operations to taxes to how much of your personal assets are at risk. You should choose a business structure that gives you the right balance of legal protections. It gives you the right balance of legal protections and benefits. To begin, organize your business structure into some form of entity. The most common business structure entities are the sole proprietorship, which is what Victoria referred to, okay? General or limited partnership, corporations such as the S Corp or C Corp, which are generally significantly much more inexpensive than the LLC, limited liability company, which was what Yedmi was referring to earlier. There are advantages and disadvantages to each form of organization, so choose carefully. Consulting with business counselors, attorneys, and accountants is very helpful. Meet your business legal structure requirements as a small business owner. Do you know what your federal, state, and local legal obligations are? Depending on the business legal structure you choose, you will need to meet your business entity's legal requirements. Again, depending on the business legal structure you choose, you will need to meet your business entity's legal requirements, including the examples listed below. State registration, reserve, or file a trade name. Number 2, form and register an entity, file articles of organization or articles of incorporation. Number 3, register for sales tax license. Number 4, set up state wage withholdings. Number 5, establish unemployment insurance accounts. Federal registration, secure what's called an FEIN number. You can obtain one online. It's a very easy process to get an EIN number. An EIN is it could be said that it's like your business social security number, right? Whenever any New York State or federal business government agency wants to know who you are, instead of pulling up your personal social security number, they're going to pull up your federal employer identification number.
And I said, yeah.
Yes, Yadmi, please.
And the EIN number, that's so easy. You can apply online. That's free. You can get the EIN letter the same day, like 5 minutes after you apply. That's so easy. We can help you in the process. And this is so important for the business.
Thank you, Yadmi. We tend to feel so nervous about starting, but when Yadmi says that it's easy, it's really easy. And it may be not easy to you alone, but once you work with us, you'll see how easy it can to create your business and start your business. So thank you again, Yadmi, for that. Local registration, reserve or file a trade name, or apply for permits. Meet your business legal structure requirements. The IRS offers easy to understand IRS relevant training videos for businesses. Use these free videos if you need assistance learning about your business legal structure requirements. So these are good topics to research on the IRS website. Prepare yourself financially. Cash flow might be tight, especially during these unprecedented times. During the early stages of your business, you can prepare your personal finances for this period with the following strategies. 1, limit new debt or monthly payments. 2, save money. Pay yourself before you pay anybody else. I know sometimes it's very, very difficult to do that, but it's important to pay yourself before you pay anyone else. Number 3, get your personal finances in order. If you don't know where your personal finances are, then thank you so much for joining us today. We are happy to assist you. Number 4, reduce daily personal expenses. Number 5, track your expenses. Number 6, budget by the month. Number 7, take into account your personal budget and calculate how much you need to survive at least the first 6 months of the business. Cash flow. Cash flow is the total amount of money being transferred into and out of a business. That's your cash flow. If I can ask the participants that are currently on the line, can you share in the chat how long you've been in business? Can you share in the chat how long you've been in business? Have you been in business less than a year, or have you been in business more than a year? While you're doing that, Victoria, feel free to interrupt me. Review the 5 C's of credit. So when it comes to credit, understanding the 5 C's of credit is helpful when applying for a loan. Be sure your loan application addresses each of these points in detail, and don't forget to reach out to local financial professionals for help as needed. The 5 C's of credit: character, the general trustworthiness of a borrower. Number 2, the capacity, the ability of a borrower to repay a loan. That's called underwriting. When loan officers sit with you and you present your business plan and you present, the 5 C's, okay? They assess the ability of a borrower to repay a loan. These are the 5 things that they look at. Capital, the money invested by the business owner or management team. We deal at the Women's Business Center with a high number of clients who want to start their business and have not saved to start their business. So if you see here, number 3, the money invested by the business owner, it's very important that the business owner have capital on their own. It's important to save money on your own. The money invested by the business owner or management team is what bankers look at. Conditions, the growing or faltering of a business, industry trends, and how they impact loan repayment. 5, collateral, the assets used to secure or guarantee a loan. I will say this. I know someone earlier asked about grants and loans to help you start your business. There are other crowdfunding platforms such as Kiva, as well as, John, can you think of the other one? Is it crowdfunding? I believe it is. It's Kiva in another one where you'd go online and you do a friends and family initiative to help you raise money for your business idea. Again, if you email us at bronxwbc@bocnet.org, we could help you explore and create a plan of action with all these different ways to identify startup capital.
It's GoFundMe.
Thank you. Thank you. If you can please, John or Victoria, put that link in the chat for everybody. It's another option that you may have to start having startup capital for your business. And all these things that you're going to be doing should be going into your business plan. Your business plan is your compass. Your business plan is your North Star. Your business plan is how you are going to perform the tasks of selling a product or selling a service. Number 8, develop your strategic plan. A strategic plan is a document that describes how your new business is going to achieve its goals. Free counseling is available to help write the business plan. If you intend to apply for a loan to start your business, a lender will require a written business plan, but loan or no loan, you should have some form of a strategic plan. Remember, your plan doesn't need to be a 30-page document, but it should include the elements of a strategic plan listed above. The key elements you should include in your strategic plan are the description of product and service, your target market. If you don't know who your target market is, then how are you going to try to close sales? If I'm selling jewelry, I can't sell to someone that doesn't like jewelry. I have to sell to people that do like jewelry. So it's very important to know your target market. Number 3, your marketing strategy. Is it going to be online marketing? Is it going to be direct to sale, direct to consumer marketing? Are you going to pick up the phone and start calling people? What are you going to do to advertise and market? Are you going to pay for a commercial on TV? Are you going to pay for a Facebook ad? What are you going to do to market your product or service? Financial information, your startup costs, your financial projection, your cost of goods sold, These are all different terms, that we can support you with to set you up with your business plan and your strategic plan. Your business operations and your business roles. Who is going to be your staff and in charge of what? John,
Tamara,
Sylvia, yeah, Victoria, what's up?
I just wanted to share that Marika and Shauna have been in business 2 years, and Tanisha started a business and she is still working on it. So we're going to help her with that process.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, so there's many certifications that you can achieve along the way in different areas. So we certainly look forward to supporting all of you, each of you individually, with your business plan development. Thank you, Victoria. Sylvia Rivera, did you want to share this slide?
Well, sure. It says here that to sustain your small business, there are several key items to make sure your business sustains over time. You have to use effective marketing, keep loyal customers, identify new customers, manage business finances, maintain or improve efficiency for your business, stay involved in local community. You'll need to understand what it takes to sustain your small business. Once the business is operating, it's important to make sure that the business is sustainable over time. Sustaining the business is important to guarantee employees job security and to be able to estimate future sales, to plan any significant costs, equipment, workspace, and many other reasons.
Oop,
What
There we
on
go.
earth? Oops, sorry about that. It's a birthday, so everybody's calling me. Seek for professional assistance always. We don't all know everything, even though we want to. Asking for help is always a good idea. Don't forget to use your local and online resources for financial assistance. And these can include, and probably should include, SBA's New York District Office, which is me, an accountant or a bookkeeper or both, lawyer, bankers, and lenders. You want to establish a relationship with your lender or your banker. They're the ones that really help you when things get tight, and you'll know who they are once you meet them. City, county, state economic development resources, and the expert advice of the women's business centers. Remember, the women's business center, they target women, but they also help men. We wouldn't turn you away. We have the small business development centers, the Service Corps retired executives, which are the SCORE mentors. And if you are a veteran, we have specifically for you and your family, we have the Veteran Business Opportunity Centers.
Yeah, we work very closely with the Small Business Development Center at Lehman College. We work very closely with the Small Business Development Center at Lehman College, which is also a resource partner of the SBA. And they offer services as well for free. And in our one-on-one counseling sessions, we can also share a little bit more about them. For those of you who may be interested, in one day starting a farm in a rural area, financial assistance for rural entrepreneurs is available. Rural small businesses experience unique benefits and challenges. These challenges include access to capital, local customer base, proximity to customers and suppliers, high-speed internet availability. If your business is located in a county designated as rural, consider researching the Rural Strong Initiative to see if your business area is eligible. If you know someone who this may be applied to, please share this information with them. We have just completed the basics, and now you're armed with information on how to get ready to start your own business. Steps to starting your own business module prepared you to think through your business idea. Upcoming webinars will prepare you to act on your initial steps of starting your small business. Again, after this webinar, we will share our forthcoming workshops. This was the Ready workshop. Then we have a Set, which supports with financing, right, Sylvia?
Yes, it does.
And we are going to share that information on when we will have the Set workshop as well as the Go workshop. We're planning to do one in December as well as another one in January.
Yes. We'll keep
Now,
your toes.
yes. Again, these are some of our workshops that we have coming up. I know some of you may say, when am I going to find the time to go to all these workshops? This is way too much for me. You could literally take this call from your phone. And just, even if you create some discipline in your schedule to develop, it's important that you develop as an entrepreneur. The How to Complete a Business Plan workshop, we always try to have panelists to give a different perspective. So please, join us and save the date for these upcoming workshops.
And remember one important thing about the business plan, it's, even though they said it was like a guide, it's a living document. It shows you how to get from point A to point B without too much deviation. Also, it's going to teach you everything you need to know about your business, because after all, it is your business. So from the ground up, every aspect, and I don't mean just selling what you have, means everything, managing it, creating it, paying taxes, insurance, every little thing you might need to know, you'll find out about it when you do your business plan, and you got help for free at no additional cost. Your tax dollars at work.
Thank you, Sylvia.
My pleasure.
So I believe, Victoria, have you already put the survey link in the chat?
Yes, everybody, please say we value your feedback. Please take a moment to complete this.
Yeah, so we are a free organization, and we would like to ensure that we meet the needs of the women that we serve. So please be as open and honest on the survey. If you could kindly, if you haven't already, click the link in the chat box. We will also send you the survey again with flyers of upcoming events. And again, if you haven't already, please take a moment now to complete the survey. We will be answering any questions that you might have. If you could either put them in the chat or you can unmute yourself. Victoria, if someone has a question, please let us know.
So far, everybody's shy.
Well, Victoria,
Mhm.
did you want to share just what some of your experiences are very recently in your consultation work and collaboration work with the Women's Business Center, as far as your experience in becoming a business owner?
I want to say that I've gained so much knowledge since I always wanted to be a business owner, but did not know how. I walked into a library one day and all of a sudden there is a program called Empower by GoDaddy. It offers everyone an opportunity who qualifies for a free website for 2 years. However, there is a full qualification, and we're working with you not only to get the account up, work with you to qualify, but also assist you with taking these webinars so that you can create your website yourself. The other part of that, I was able to do the DBA. I didn't really know what I wanted, and attending Mr. Gonzalez's webinar, I was able to say that I didn't need anything more than just to have a business name. I got something very wonderful, which is with the HSBC Bank, and that is a opportunity to get a business checking account, and qualify for a business secure credit card. And I'm going to be able to start my business. And besides attending all of these, I have so much more to go. But in the meantime, I'm not alone, and I can call out for help at any time.
Excellent.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that, we're all busy being busy, right? But it's important to make yourself number one, number two, and number three, right? Because if you'll never have another November 12th, 2020 again. So why not make every day count? With the support that you will receive at the Women's Business Center, we will make your idea become a reality and support you to achieve that result. We're excited to champion you. We're excited to work with you. And we're excited to hear from you. Is there any questions?
Ay, preguntas.
Silvia, I miss you.
I miss it. Who said that?
Get me.
Hi, Edmi. I miss you as well. I'm looking forward to the days when we can get back out into the libraries and meet with everybody
Yes.
and share knowledge. Sharing knowledge is of the utmost importance. Starting your business, growing it, expanding it, and unfortunately, recovering from disasters such as this pandemic has been tough on everyone. But I want you all to know, regardless, we're still here. You are essential. You are essential to your families, to the economy, to everybody. Trust it. Believe that you are a necessity. And I wish I could hang out with everybody and celebrate my birthday today. Happy birthday to me. Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
today's
Happy
Sylvia's birthday.
And we should
Um,
be out partying instead of,
well,
we should
thank you
have
so much.
after hours.
Thank you so much for your time today, Sylvia.
Oh,
We
my
know of
absolute
all the
pleasure.
great work
After
you
10
do.
p.m. now.
Tanisha
Long
is
after
saying
10
happy
p.m.
birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Shayna actually asked about the secured business credit card. Victoria, can you just speak a little bit more about the secure business card?
First
How
of
could she
all,
receive it?
I signed up with the WBC Women Business Center. So as a client, they offered a We Credit workshop in which I attended, and I met all the players.
Nice.
Once I expressed my interest, I was able to work with BOC and the business center to reach out to HSBC, and together we worked on getting the card. So if you really want to know more about it, I put it on the, I'm going to put on the on the chat to reach out to the email so that you can know more about it, because it's a process, but business is always a process. So at that point, I have it. I want you to have it. So find out more about it by reaching out to them.
Yeah, so Shayna and Victoria, she's absolutely right. It's a partnership that we have with HSBC Bank, where the business owner will put $500 of their capital into the business banking account, and HSBC will match that. And it's a special program that we have going on through the BOC network, available via the Women's Business Center. And so it's to further support your business credit. And if wherever you are in terms of personal credit, having great credit or not, we will support you to ensure that your credit improves. So we look forward to meeting you for a one-on-one conversation, Shayna. Anyone have any questions about all the information learned today?
We put out our survey, we put out our website, and we put out our email address. You are free to reach out to us at any time, and we will follow with you to see how we can assist you in your business.
Yeah, Larry, I see you're there. Lynn, feel free to ask us any questions. Unless specific individuals have any specific questions, this now concludes our webinar. Again, we look forward to working with you in the future. I will stay on for a few more minutes to answer any questions that anyone else may have.